Well, here we are. It's Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving. Of course, by the time you see this, it'll already be past Thanksgiving, and you more than likely will be on your way home from your holiday journeys, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. This is Anthony G. Martin, by the way, and this is the Liberty Sphere Report. As travelers return home from the Thanksgiving holiday, they may encounter some delays at airports across the country, but then again, maybe not. And this brings us to today's news concerning citizen protests against the TSA, the Transportation Safety Commission, or Safety Administration, which is a part of the Department of Homeland Security under Obama appointee Janet Napolitano. As you well know, a furor of controversy was raised over the TSA's intrusive and unlawful violations of the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution by groping, fondling, and prodding passengers and subjecting them to naked scans at airports. Now, once this outcry against the TSA was raised by ordinary citizens, millions of you all across the country, there were many people scratching their heads when they arrived at airports on Wednesday, wondering where were the delays? Where were all the protesters? Why did things go so smoothly for most people? Well, the answer is, my friends, we won. We sent a message to Washington. Apparently, they heard the outcry and got the message. And therefore, in spite of their dire warnings of possible terrorist attacks on Wednesday, the Obama administration apparently ordered TSA agents throughout the country not to subject most passengers to the scans or to the pat-downs. Therefore, travel went very, very smoothly on Wednesday. I'll have to say that if they did this in order to make conservatives and people who cry about the violations of the Constitution look bad, congratulations to those in the Department of Homeland Security. Good show. Kudos. I'm glad. On the other hand, if they revise their methods so that the multi-millions of passengers who use airlines over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend could go through the airports with minimal delays, then I can say with all certainty that this was done as a direct result of the outcry of citizens all across this country against the tactics of the Obama administration in violating the privacy of ordinary citizens while refusing to do adequate profiling of young men of Middle Eastern descent. And we all know that most terrorists fit that profile. Yet this administration refuses to engage in a practice that law enforcement agencies all across the country regularly use to catch criminals. And they do it with quite a bit of success. And yet the Obama administration refuses to implement profiling when it comes to catching terrorists. This is absolutely unconscionable. But I will have to say that I think that your protests made a difference. I think that instead of having to cause delays on Wednesday, the Obama administration backed off because they saw what was coming. And thus, millions of Americans on Wednesday went through airports with a minimum amount of intrusion, a minimum amount of delays, and with minimal scans and pat-downs. So, once again, we won. Thank you, my fellow citizens, for lifting up your voices on behalf of liberty all across this country. This is Anthony G. Martin, and this has been the Liberty Sphere Report.